2 with a lower body emphasis today. We are going to include some upper body stability, but this is our warm-up. So if you haven't already done a warm-up, follow along. These are pre-activation for the drills, the main strength exercises to come. So we're going to start off in all fours abs again, like we did the other day. We're going to do 5 breaths here. So remember, we're going to tuck the pelvis round the upper back, round the whole back a little bit. Shoulders come forward over the wrists, pressing into all 5 fingers, not sinking into the wrists. And we're going to inhale into our mid-back, into that bra strap area. So inhale. And then exhale everything out, wrap the ribs in and down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last 2, inhale. One more. That's 5 breaths. Come into our T-spine rotations now. So on all fours again, give your wrists a little bit of a roll. We're on all fours. Sit the heels, the hips back towards the heels. And we're going to inhale with the back of our hand on the back of our head. Inhale, open the chest, look up. Exhale, come through. Inhale, open up. We're going for 8 reps. Exhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. That's 4. Breathe out 3. Breathe out 2. Breathe out 1. Other side. The hand on the back of the head. Inhale, open up. Exhale, come through. Exhale. Just notice where you might be tighter or restricted. Exhale. Breathe out 5. Last 2. And 1 more. That's 8 each side for our rotations. We're going to our 90-90 now. Just start off with your feet quite wide. We're just going to stay facing forwards the whole time here. We are just going to drop the knees, both knees down to one side, staying facing straight ahead, and then both knees to the other side. Breathing out, so just a nice way to warm into the 90-90 hip switches. Just to check that internal rotation of the hip and external. And just try to stay as upright as possible, so you can lean back to make it a bit easier, or stay a little bit more upright to make it a little bit more challenging. So we're going to start in 90-90 now. Again, adjust as you need to. You might go a bit narrower. We're going to inhale, open this knee first, keep this knee on the ground as much as possible. Transition to the top and then to the other side. Breathe out, leaning from the hips. Breathe in and breathe out. We're going for 8 reps here. This is number 3. Breathe out 4. Just take it as slow as you need. Breathing in, breathing out 5, trying to create a little bit of tension. Lots of tension through the core as we breathe out over the top. Last 2, 7, and breathe out 8. So normally I go through around 16 of those, depending on how tight you are. We are going to go into the plank walkouts now. So starting to dynamically work through the hamstrings. We're starting here at the base of our mats. Weight in the full foot. We're going to push those hips back. Start to feel the stretch in the hamstrings. Stay as flat as you can. Bend the knees as much as you need. Okay, hands come down, flat on the ground. Walk the hands out. Keep the hips stable. So try not to let them move too much. Walking all the way out, shift the weight into the fingertips, shoulders over the wrists, and then push back until we get to hands flat on the ground again, hang out, and big breath in, reach up, breath out, push the hips back, hamstring stretch here, walking out, shift the weight forwards, shift the weight back, pushing all the way back, big breath in here, into the nose, out through the mouth, breathing out. Shifting forwards and back, walking back, and big breath in. Got one more to go, breath out. Shoulders over wrists, tuck the pelvis, forwards, back, pushing back. Hamstring stretch. Breathe in and breathe out. So our last warm-up exercise, we're going to take a spot on the wall. We're going to do some hip openers and knee drives. So starting on the wall, hands flat, in line with the shoulders. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to drive the knee to the wall, or the foot touches the wall. Hip goes into flexion, come back, and then open the hip. Drive up, touch, back and open the hip. So as we do this, stay nice and upright. Try not to lean to one side. So squeeze the glute of the standing leg, stay up tall. Touch and up. Touch and up. Going for 10 reps. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo, feel the outer glutes. We've got the other side. So standing up tall on the left leg, touch the foot to the wall, high knee drive, and coming out. 1, breathe out. 2, 3, stay up tall. 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so we're ready to get into our first circuit of 4 exercises, 1A to 1D. Okay, so exercise number 1 is our Bulgarian split squats. If you haven't been doing this one at all or for a while, I'd say go body weight to begin with, and then we'll start to load up with the weight in front or 2 weights here, okay, which I'll show you in a second. But initially put our back foot on. We basically want, if we were setting up, we should be able to get our knee to the ground and the back of our ankle to sit in that padded area. So it's kind of sitting the groove. That should be our stance. If you can't get down into this position, then just start up here and just, we'll go from basically from this position down, okay? But something to work towards. We're going to do 6 to 8 on each leg with a weight here if you have been training them. All right, so for the case of today, body weight, I'm going to start here, free hip up higher, use the stance leg glute to do that, so the glute kicks in on this front leg. We're going to come down, back slightly, staying upright, and then control back up, squeeze, that's 1. So the knee doesn't really need to touch the ground, just hover a couple of inches off, controlling down, squeezing up, that's 3. Breathe out, 4. 5, 6, we're trying to use this whole front leg, try not to press into the back leg, and 8. We'll do 8 on the other side, controlling down, breathe out to the top, that's 1. I like to have my hands up, out like so, just gives me a bit more balance. Try not to let the back arch. So keep a squeeze on those glutes, little pelvic tilt forward the whole time. 5, 6, 7, and 8. So then exercise number 2 is going to be a little burner. We're going to go back into that Bulgarian split squat on the other side. We're going to do some heel taps, so coordination through that calf complex. So we're going to drop down, see if we can get 10 to 20 taps of our heel like so. So I'm in this nice position, loaded up with the quad. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the heel. So see if you can get the coordination going. Aiming to be here for around 20 seconds. Progressing that. Last 5, 3, 2, and 1. That was super tough. So even if you can just see if you can count maybe like 5 to 10 taps or as many as you get without stopping, and then just see what level you're at. You might only get 5 taps, you might not be able to get any, but it's a good test of coordination. So you're gonna focus back in on that position, up, and we go again on the other side. Tap, 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 off we go. Heel to the ground, and they're just mini calf raises. I'm not coming up into a big calf raise at all. Little taps. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! What a quad bender. So exercise number 3, 1C. We're going into a hip lock on the wall. So we're starting in a staggered stance. I'll show you a few reps and then talk you through it. So I'm going to do a clean from this position to here. So the clean is just using the hips to initiate the movement up to the shoulder. We keep it nice and close. Okay? If not, if you're not used to this, you can go body weight and omit the clean. Okay? See how we go. We're going to start with the right leg forward, left leg back. Hips back slightly, just a little bit of a bend in those knees. And then I'm going to explode upwards. And I'm going to take the weight up to the shoulder at the same time as I then come up onto the wall. I'll show you 3. Now see how I'm coming up onto my toes with this foot? You need to be a fair distance away from the wall. You want to hold that wall position for around 2 seconds. So we're going to do 5 on each side. Okay, here we go. Starting off, opposite arm to opposite leg, hinge back, drive the hips forward here, squeeze, and up. The idea is getting this hip up higher than the stance leg hip. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Other side. 1. Shoulders back. 2. Holding for a couple. 3. 4. And 5. So this is really training that coordination, that pattern, that running pattern to get our free hip higher, to really load up those glutes effectively and not sag or drop down at the hips when we run. Okay, so exercise number 1D, okay, final exercise in this circuit. We're coming into a hamstring bridge on the wall with a calf raise, okay, or heel raise, and that's going to target our soleus muscle. All right, so we're starting off with our foot on the wall, and I want to make sure that my knee has just a little bend, not too much, but not also we don't want it straight. So we're just a little bend. We're going to press into the wall, bring the opposite leg to our chest. However's comfortable, you can hold it, whatever's good for you. Bridge up, pull the heel down into the wall and back towards you. That's really important so you can fire up the hamstring. From that position, we're going to hold this position here and do 15 repetitions, getting our heel to come up off the wall and then kiss the heel to the wall. That's 1 rep. Make sure that the big toe mound stays on the wall the whole time. So here we go. Breathing out. 1, 2, Keep the hips up. 3. Breathe out, 4. Control the heel down, nice and slow, 5. We'll try for 10 here, 6. 7, hips up. 8. 9. And 10. Control down, we'll do the other side. So make sure when you set up that you tuck your pelvis, okay, squeeze the glutes, tuck the pelvis under and draw the top rib cage down. So we're cinching in just like that all 4 ab drill. So bridging up, tuck the pelvis, abs on, and off we go. Squeezing up, breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, head's relaxed on the ground. 5, heel just gently taps the wall. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Control back down. So that's our first circuit. We'll now go on to the circuit 2A to 2C. Okay, so exercise number 2A, we're going into a Bulgarian against the wall, so single leg position. We're going to do a dumbbell fly, so choose your weight accordingly. Start really light so you can get the movement down pat and progress up to a heavier weight. But essentially we're retracting the back of the shoulder so the rear deltoid is working to then pull the scap back and come up like so. So when we come up, we want to keep the same elbow bend the whole time and make sure that we're not jerking it up or using momentum. So nothing changes in the elbow position. We have a minimal elbow position. Alright, so back leg is on in Bulgarian position, pressing into the wall, free hip higher, squeezing that stance leg glute, hinge at the hip slightly. Here's my starting position. We're going to go for 8 reps each side. So we're going to go 1, swap hands, 2, keep stable at the hips, 3, 4, 5, 6, you can add in a little bit of a drop if you want, 7, and 8, just a little bit of a throw, so I'm just throwing it a little bit, catching it in mid-air, okay, getting a bit more of a squeeze at the back. We swap sides, and then hips back, abs on, breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, stable through the ribs, 7, and 8. So that's our first dumbbell fly exercise. Exercise number 2, we go into a rotational row on the TRX. So if you don't have a TRX, you can do a single arm bent over row, which is done like so. We come down into a bent over position, hip distance apart, hinging at the hips, so it's all hips back. And I'm doing a single arm row here, so I'm retracting my shoulder, pulling up, controlling back down. Holding and squeezing for a 1 to 2 second pause at the top. So that's your option if you don't have a TRX. Otherwise, we'll go into a TRX row. So all we've got to do here is thread this handle through this handle, okay? And one more time through with the other handle. Now it looks probably a little bit complicated, but it's just 2 thread throughs, and then you should pull on it really sturdy and you're all good to go. Okay, so see if you can get that down pat, pause the video if you need to. Okay, you're just threading it through both ways. Now, single arm row here. I'm going to start in this position, shoulders back. I'm going to row up to that top of that rib cage, control down. I'm going to add in a rotation here if that's okay. Okay, so if it's not, you just stick with this version, straight up, straight down, or you're going to rotate through the upper rib cage, reach down, rotate up, and then pull up. Down, rotate, up, pull up. Go for 10 reps here. 1, 2, breathe out, 3, 4, 5, stay nice and stable through that midsection. 6, shoulders level. 7, breaking up the movements where you need to. 8, 9, and 10. Do 10 on the other side. Now sometimes starting with 10 for a single arm row can be quite a lot. Even I was working really hard there. It's okay to start with 5 or 6 or however many you can get with good form on one arm and not over push it. So start with the amount that you can get with perfect form before your form starts to go out the window and then stop there. Okay, so controlling back down, starting rotating through, breathe out 1. You can add in a little bit of a reach up here if you like. Breathing in. 2. Rotate. 4. When I pull, I'm only pulling to the mid body. I'm not pulling all the way back here. Okay, elbow doesn't have to come all the way back here, just to here, shoulder back. What's that? Number 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. So that's our rotational row. Again, regress if you need, back to that straight arm, straight up and down, but to master that first before you go into the rotation component. And our final exercise is the single leg chair bridge. Now the single leg chair bridge, we're working predominantly in hammies, and we're in a 90-degree position at the knee. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to set up so that our heel is digging into the chair. So grab yourself a chair. Heel digs in and down back towards you. Okay, it's really important to get the hamstring working hard. Okay, and then we're going to take the knee to the chest. You can hug it in or however's comfortable for you. Just let go, make sure it stays nice and tight. And we're going to stay in a 90-degree position the whole time. So make sure you've got that nice 90-degree angle. Tuck the pelvis and squeeze on up. Squeeze the glutes, control back down, tap the bottom and repeat. We're going for 10 reps per side. 3, the whole time my heel's dragging back towards me. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. Heel comes back towards me and getting set up, ready, and off we go. 1, 2. I like to put my hands here so I can feel my ribs aren't flaring up the top. 4, 5. Breathe out. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And you definitely know whether you're activating the hamstring effectively or not, because if you slide back that way and the chair moves, you know you're not working and pulling enough through the hamstring back towards you. So that's our final exercise. Make sure you go through that 3 times through with a short rest at the end of obviously that exercise, 30 to 60 seconds, and then do your final 2 rounds. And I hope you enjoyed that workout, and I'll see you back for workout number 2 for the next upper and lower body series for next week.